But then one day I was driving my little boy to school and I saw this quote by Walt Whitman. It was painted on the wall there. It said, "Be curious, not judgmental." I like that.
Hello. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Peyman? Congratulations. Fantastic bit of animation you did here. My name's Keith Sintay, and I've been an animation mentor almost since the beginning. Over, I don't even know how many years now, 12, 13, 14? And love it. So it's a privilege to be doing your 11-second club review. I'm currently working at Industrial Light and Magic. I started out as a traditional animator at Disney Feature Animation. First project I worked on was a movie called Pocahontas, and then on to the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and then was it Tarzan, Mulan. Worked at DreamWorks for a bit, and on their traditional animation films. Huge animal lover, so working on Spirit was great for me, the one about horses. Eventually, I went over to Sony Pictures Animation and got into doing visual effects work. And you can, if anyone's curious, you just look for Keith Sintay Vimeo and you'll find my reels. But I got to work on the Transformers movies, several Marvel films, including Avengers: Age of Ultron, Iron Man 2. Most recently, I've worked on Loki, WandaVision, and I'm currently, like I said, at Industrial Light and Magic, working on a couple of projects that are coming out soon. So it's been amazing for me. So I wish you all the success that I've had. Also, it's tremendous. I love it. So, anyways, looking at your work here, let's just take a look first. It's really smooth, sharp. It's a really beautiful piece of animation. I wrote down a few things here just to remind myself. I've watched this animation over and over again. It's just tremendous. I love the layout that you presented here with this sort of very minimalistic crowd. I love the desk that he's sitting on. I don't know if you modeled that or where you got that, and the sort of interesting angles of all the furniture. The old chalkboard is cool. It's a nice touch instead of like a screen or a marker board or something like we see today. Just wish that the image was a little bit sharper. It's a little hard for me to see. The lip sync looks fantastic. You have it looks. I was going through looking at the lip sync. I love the subtle movement that you've done on the cheeks and nose that go up and down as he's talking and hitting those shapes. The only thing I see you did some animation on the tongue, which is great too. Wall there. You might have touched the tongue a little bit more for the and there. Wall there. I just dropped that tongue out a bit for that TH in there. But I mean, there's really not a whole lot that I could see that needs to be really worked on and polished up on that lip sync. You have so many subtle little anticipations before things that are working so nicely. That little dip down before he comes back up. But even when he takes a breath, I saw this quote. You actually drop in another mouth shape. This, it's like right in here that you're putting in like an extra little shape, which is great. I mean, it really sells the anticipation into the line right before it. I mean, right after it, I'm sorry. Now the B I was having trouble finding in by Walt Whitman. Now maybe it's just the resolution that I'm seeing this. But somewhere in here, just make sure that that's a little bit cleaner. Walt, when he says quote by Walt Whitman, you might just bring this B up a little higher, just a touch, so that the face just squishes up just a slight bit more and a little bit higher up from where it is now, so we could read it a little bit better. And then start to bring it down for that Y in by. And then right into what you have. You have the M in Whitman in there? Yeah, we're missing the M, I think, in Whitman. Somewhere in here. Let me just double check. I think his mouth is open here, isn't it? Well, just in case I'm seeing it wrong, I just have a look at that. Because it looks like his mouth is open there. But anyway, this anticipation is fun. You do this thing where you dip down, and then as you're coming up, you're dragging the arm up. Love that. This little face you make here. This extra face. That's tremendous. Instead of just waiting for the next mouth shape or sound, you're creating a bit of acting in this pose here. This is great. Another nice anticipation. Cool. Now at the end, I'm not curious. I'm reading the word on there. I'm not sure why you left all these frozen frames. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14 frames of just nothing moving. So don't do that in your shots. Just either animate them all the way out, slight moving hold, or end it. But I like the fact we're seeing him here still, so maybe some breathing and a moving hold at the end would be better. Alright, cool. So some tiny... Oh, yeah, one of the things that I liked about this also was the way that you have the hips engaged in the movement here. So we can see the hips are pushing and rotating as they should be, forcing the whole body to roll upward. So that's a great detail that I'm glad to see that in there. So a lot of, well, not a lot, but some animators might forget and just start animating from here upwards and forgetting about how you have to counter against that with the hips and start that animation going up the spine. So all of this little detail, I'm just watching how the hips are moving exactly like they should. Now the foot, I love the swinging of his right foot here. The left foot that's crossed over seems a little bit frozen especially when he does his gesture. Like when he comes up, he says, "School, I saw this. School, I saw that." I would just take this foot and give it a little bit of rotation up this way as his body's coming up. Just a little bit to help accentuate that and also make it look like that foot isn't so frozen. See that? Like all through this section here, it's just locked. It looks a little too IK. Same thing with this hand on his hip there. I like how all the body is moving against it, but it looks, again, IK, so a little rotation in that hand as he comes up, rather than having it completely, locked in. So to just give that another little level of polish. Let's see. Oh, I don't know where this rig came from. It's a really nice rig. And the outfit you put on him is cool. Is there a way, and maybe there isn't, maybe you thought of it, I don't know, I'm just going to put it out there because it's there, to animate the hair curl a tiny bit? If you did animate it, I'm not seeing it. Just a little bit of drag as he's coming up. As he's moving his head around. It would be nice to see. Bounce and drag through here. Little detail that I love is this turned in eye here. It's such a great little character detail. And it feels right, like it should be there, like it's not a mistake or anything. So you handled that beautifully. Your eye blinks are great too. If I went through these frame by frame just to look and see what you were doing here, and it looks very accurate the way. Where's the one where he blinks downward? Let me see. This one? There's one in here that you do. Maybe it's right after this. This feels nice. It feels like you're having the pupil sink a little bit and being pushed down by the lid, which is the right thing. And they feel fleshy too. So good job not putting it on, some animators might, beginning animators anyway, I don't know what level you're at, but might have a tendency, I'm talking to not just you, but anybody that might be watching this, might have a tendency to just leave this at a half, the eyes open. So here we have it. It would be closed, and then if you let Maya in between it, it'll just put it right in the middle when it goes up. So then you'll have, 1, 2, 3, which is no good. You want it to third like you did here, and then favor. So you almost have like thirds favoring. Really cool. Great level of polish on this. The fingers are really well taken care of. I was going to say just, as another level of polish just to make sure that the geometry isn't crashing on the pinky through the ring in this area here. I can't tell, but just to make sure that your fingers aren't crashing into each other. Let's see. Oh, I was thinking, you do this tiny little finger movement here, which is exactly what I would like to see. It's when I was driving my kid to school, and you do this little hand flick, right? Oh, it almost looks like a warp in the image, but let me see. Anyway, I would make that a little bit more obvious, rather than his hand just being curled and locked around his calf like that. I was driving my little boy to school. Just make it kind of an offhanded gesture. I was driving my little boy to school. Just the fingers kind of flare up a little bit and then come back down. Nice little touch in there. I was driving my little boy to school. Bring this back out here. This is so nice. This subtle hand gesture. That's a great sort of example of a moving hole through there. It's like, and you did it so nice that it has enough arc in there that it doesn't feel like it hits and then slides linear fashion. All right, cool. I think. Let me see if I had any other notes there. I think that's about it from me. Cool. Really great stuff. Handled beautifully. The tone, everything. So again, I'll just save these little drawings if you want them to look at them later. But congratulations. I'm saving them off to the side there, if you could see it. There. Congratulations again on the win. Well deserved, man. Fantastic stuff. You know, it's funny. I just noticed something. This doesn't really matter a whole ton of a lot, but I think in the grand scheme of things, if this was being looked at by enough people, someone would notice the tangent of this line going across his sleeve. See that? Weird, huh? So I wonder if there's anything you could do to manipulate the sweater to be offset. His cuff, I don't know. Some other little detail that probably, who knows. It took me enough tries enough times looking at this to notice it. So it's up to you if you want to try and adjust that. Again, congratulations, and it was a pleasure doing this critique for you. I wish you all the best.